Hey everyone, let me actually take this hoodie off here. It's a little warm today. Sorry I'm running late. Kind of a rolling start today. Getting live and all the things. I am aware the hardcore world was accidentally... Well, we had some tech issues. Had some kind of crash. I'm just verifying right now. Wait, what is that? What is that? No, I don't have an inner ear to QA. However, I do have email, and it looks like the hardcore world is now back up. Let me go and message that out on the social media. You can. This is mission control. It just looks like a guy sitting at a desk typing at a keyboard. Let me pop on over to the forums. I hope there's a thread. I assume there's a thread. I've been a little busy. Anyway, I'm late for a bunch of reasons. But today I'm going to be actually taking it pretty easy. I'm going to be on Wayfinder a little bit later on today. I have almost got some stuff real cool to say. Let me just say this thread. The hardcore server has reopened following a brief login issue. We apologize for the inconvenience. I apologize for the inconvenience. All right, and we're good, I think, on the launcher. I am a little busy. All right, sorry for the rolling start here. I'm kind of watching several things rolling at exactly noon, so... Sure, I got the YouTube, the Twitch chat kind of popped out. Like I say, like, this is kind of a rolling start today because I just every now and then actual work. You know, I'm not actually employed to play DDO professionally nor stream on Twitch. Occasionally, I have actual work I need to do, and it just so happens that today fell into that line. Two things basically for most folks. Part of the reason I'm late is we were doing a thing over on the other game. We just launched our pre-sale for their latest expansion, which is, you know, kind of a big deal. And that just happened over on the Lotra side, kicked off at noon Eastern here today. And then at the same time, the hardcore server decided to be particularly hardcore in real life. And we had to restart it quick, so... That should now be fixed, and the hardcore server should now be open. And we're good to go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the weekly Wednesday Lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDO stream, youtube.com/Dungeons & Dragons, /live, and facebook.com/DDO Unlimited. I'm DDO's Community Manager Cordovan, and I can't believe I got through that and got which game I was talking about right. Occasionally my brain has to be split down the middle, like when we do things like what we just did. And I did not once mess it up yet. I am quick logging into Wayfinder. I'm going to be on a character by the name of, I believe, Gamogul. And it's level 15, I believe, just an ASMR Scourge that I quick rolled not too long ago. The reason is on Wayfinder, my other character is level 28, and I kind of wanted to run heroic new stuff. And so I thought, being on Wayfinder for the next 2 weeks, why don't I create a character that other people who want to join me on Wayfinder who are, let's say, anything level 15 to 20, it's fine. So in just a minute, I'm going to be on the Wayfinder server. Here's kind of what I was thinking my general plan would be for the next couple of weeks. So next week will be week 2 of Wayfinder, and then normally I would go all the way towards the top of the list again. But I think what I'm going to do this time around is spend the next 3 to 4 weeks on the hardcore server. Because, you know, the Hardcore League runs until November 15th, and so this is really the kind of the final, we're entering into the home stretch here, the final 30 days or what have you, and that happens to coincide with, I think, pretty much where the server rotation's going to wrap up. So, since we're starting a new turn, as it were, let's re-roll initiative. Oh, Hardcore rolled a 20, so there we go. Going to be doing that until probably November 15th. But today, I'm on Wayfinder here, and I'm going to be running some of the new quests. And probably sorting out my gear. Because I'm running late. Because I was busy! How you doing, everybody? Alright, so, what else do we got going on here? We have been pretty busy, kind of doing patches, dealing with AI. There was downtime today to work on that. I don't want to say that we fixed it, though, because what we have done so far is a more temporary fix before we do further work to address this long term. However, things today should be better than they were yesterday, and there is a possibility, I am sorry to say, that we may, for the next couple of weeks, do an extra world restart to help address this issue, which is being caused by really an issue with the AI pathing physics engine, where it basically builds up over time and then starts bogging down. And we're working to address that, and we will be addressing that shortly. But in the meantime, we kind of have a temporary fix in place, and that's what we've got. So that's going on. Last week or so has really been focused a lot on that, if I recall correctly. The other big piece is, you know, where we have the Soul Splitter is now out and live and available for everyone to enjoy. So hopefully you've been digging that. I know I've been running that quite a bit. Last week or so, been kind of getting the pretty awesome loot from there. Right, I'm turning off work windows so I can actually focus on the thing what needs focusing on, which is doing a well, let's be honest, my usual show, which includes announcing what the bonus is going to be, which is strength and numbers. So that is a 5% buddy boost, probably non-raids. At 5% it would probably be raids and parties. So that would be a 5% XP boost for every member in the party or raid group other than yourself, kicking off late tomorrow morning, late Thursday morning, September of the 26th, and running through Sunday of the September 29th. Being shut off on the morning of the 30th. So that should be cool. The other piece, let me just double check my timing on it to make sure I am correct. I want to make sure I get the date right on that. Veteran status 3 week. This is through today. So if you do not have a level 10 character yet, and you feel like that would be a thing you should probably do, you might want to get cracking on it, because you've got until today to get that done. So, so definitely to keep in mind there. So. Ooh, I do have a mess in my inventory here, don't I? Well, I'm not going to worry too much about it today, but let me just kind of get some stuff into a character bank and then just sell a lot of junk so I can sort of stumble through the show here just fine and deal with the rest later, which would be fine. So what have you been up to? Have you been digging the new pack? I know the loot's been pretty good. I've been enjoying the quests as well. It's pretty cool. Oh, Scoundrel Leather is going to have to switch into that, because they're pretty cool. I imagine you have a similar kind of rotation you like to do when you are first going through the stuff. I must have run something or other, because clearly I've got some junk loot. But I'm not actually sure what I ran, because I spent quite some time since I pulled this character out of the character select screen. Night Revels, I can't announce when it's kicking off. We are, going to be bringing back Night Revels. It will have a new Night Revels quest. Really kind of extension of what we usually do for this sort of thing. Good enough. Clear out some inventory space and then let me get thee to Sharn. And get to your questions in chat. So now that I just don't want to waste people's time too much. Alright, so we'll be running the new Sharn quest probably on hard, just because I am only level 15. If you want to make your way down to the lower docks of Sharn, that would be awesome. How many bards do we need in one group? Apparently not enough. We're a very bard-heavy group. I guess we're like the Beatles, except we aren't as rich. No, we're probably as rich as the Beatles. And if you were to do some kind of plat too, something equivalent. In DDO. More like Hawkwind. I like Hawkwind. Yep. When is Night Revels kicking off? Like I said, I'm not sure on that. If you don't have a level 10 character, make them. That sounds like a pretty good plan. Like the monkeys. Nice. I like it. What month might we expect the next big update? I would call Night Revels maybe not a big update, not like, say, Soul Splitter with a new adventure pack or something, but that'll be in October, and that'll include the Night Revels stuff. We need to fix loot drops from chests. You never get remotely anything useful. Sorry about that. Yeah, Jimmy, the idea of cosmetic storage comes up fairly regularly. Hopefully someday we can do something about that. So, alright, where is everybody? Anyone? Am I waiting for someone here? What's the dealio?
You're in the wrong place.
Oh, that's right. I am in the wrong place.
It's not often I get to say that to you.
Yeah.
Usually the other way around.
Hey, it'll be fine. I don't think I've ever really played this character before. Don't even know what my hotbars look like. I'm sure it'll be perfectly fine. Fiendish Arpeggio. Okay. Fire damage. Fascinate. Hellish Rebuke. Okay, blow by blow. I must be a swashbuckler.
The Deputy Harbor Master's secretary had a package for Doris. With any luck, that secretary would be the last person to have seen her. A good place place to start your search.
Any news in the new and upcoming class? That class is the Artificer, and will be coming soon, later this year. We'll have more info on that as we get closer to it. I can't really say too much more than we've already said. They're a class that kind of works with, potions and things like that. They do some neat attacks and do some cool things.
Have you seen this
We
Warforged?
should see it real soon.
Have you? According to the junior assistant substitute harbor master, the courier who took the package for Doris was an illiterate Warforged.
Yeah, what did I say? I said alchemist, didn't I?
A dock worker saw Bertrand
Oh,
Gray, a renowned Warforged
yep,
artist,
alchemist.
moving boxes like a common laborer. That seems out
Good
of
job,
character
me.
for you.
Alright, so anyway, that's,
A member of the Charm Watch gives you a
I'm
really
trying to think what
nice-
else we should mention. Really, Night Revels is going to be probably the thing you see next, and I would imagine we would do a Lamani on that, potentially, here.
warned.
Seems like something we would be interested in doing here, so, sooner rather than later. I know that there's one other pretty exciting thing that was discussed about, hey, when are we going to be able to share more info on that? Today, ultimately, I don't think today's the day we can share it, just because it's still kind of being text. But in the near future, I should have some pretty exciting information on kind of a thing that I think will be of a good interest to people who dig DDO, which presumably is you if you're watching this show. It certainly is because of my great ideas. Now, what about Rezia Ice Games? I've not really heard of any plans to work on Rezia. I don't think anyone's opposed to it. It just hasn't made it up the priority list. Is the Inquisitor Enhancement Tree going to be available in the in-game store? Yes. As a matter of fact, you know how last week we had a pretty cool thing hit the DDO store? The hits are going to continue. Which also reminds me, for the 10th anniversary of free-to-play here, let me double-check, make sure my dating is correct. Yes, starting on September 26th, that is tomorrow. Again, it'll be not, for you Europeans, it'll be your evening. We'll release a code for a free adventure pack. You can redeem it. All players in the game can redeem it. It'll grant access to the Path of Inspiration adventure pack, which was the first adventure pack we released after going free-to-play. So that's tomorrow as well. Stay tuned. That'll be all over social media and stuff. We'll give out the coupon code for it. I'm sure it'll be in the Chronicle. I'd probably just get it from the Chronicle. But you can do whatever you want to do in terms of how you would prefer to get that. But that's tomorrow. So that's something to look forward to as well, besides just the buddy boost. You know, it'd help if I didn't just hit things I just fascinated.
This strange Warforged was instructed to deliver an illegal Vaunt device to an old factory down in the Cogs. Perhaps there is more to this mystery in the darkness beneath the city. It might be illuminating to follow the strange Warforged to find out more about their curious predicament. The package that was being held for Doris contained a broken Vaunt device. Was it already smashed? An unsavory character.
It's true, a lot of people have the pack. I mean, it was the first adventure pack we released. So, you know, it may be less exciting to a bunch of you, but there is also a bunch of you out there who are, for whatever reason, you know, and you just never got it, because it is an older adventure pack and all that sort of thing. We'll, you know, be kind of happy to have something new to new to play. So, and if you are VIP and ever do go premium or whatever, you know, that'll
factory down in the Cogs is the most promising.
be unlocked for you.
Warforged was acting strangely and was intent on going back there. Perhaps that's where you should look next. With the leads you have, it's time for you to continue your investigation down below in the cogs.
Nope, Gabe on Facebook. We have Ravenloft in Dungeons and Dragons Online. It's an adventure or an expansion we released. And you can find out more about it. I'm pretty sure it's DDO.com/Ravenloft. Any chance of a cool new permanent hireling? I would say odds are fairly good. I don't know when. I couldn't really tell you exactly when that's going to happen, but I would say odds are pretty good that'll happen someday.
Something tells you this factory
Linabelle
hasn't
was
been used
quite
in a while.
vocal about revamping
It's just
older
happened.
loot tables in raids as well as augments. Any plans? Not formal plans that could be announced, today, for example, but I do think that, we've long wanted to do what will end up being kind of a lot of work, but necessary work ultimately for augments. I don't know when that's going to happen though, but I do think that'll happen at some point here. Additionally, what about updating older loot tables? That's always something that people want to do. I think, Sharn clearly was a big priority in terms of loot this year. We also do have, Keep on the Borderlands coming and things like that. But when opportunity presents itself to do that, I am absolutely sure that someone with passion on the team for doing that work, like, say, Linabelle, would probably be interested in doing that. I just don't know when. The Shatarakai chain attack is not applying equipped weapons to its attack. Okay. Hound and Vod, that
He
would
has
make a lot of
ordered the
sense.
records of this facility to be burned, and will have killed the range. Thankfully, they left enough for you to dig through.
Yeah, my personal opinion on caught in the web loot is not particularly relevant, but I don't think it's that bad either. I think it's pretty good. So. Whatever, man. Oh, we just went back in the circle. Okay. Does anyone need to or want to shrine up here? We are in on hard, so.
Okay. Thanks.
Uh-oh, who's being attacked? Correct, Growler. That's a good thing to mention here on the live stream. We were able to clear out dead names from
This letter
the
mentions that something called a
hardcore
soul
leaderboards
splitter
yesterday
can be
without
used
having to take the
reduce
world
one's
down.
mental capacity. And the
And so that
subjects of these experiments
worked out
have
pretty
all
good.
been veterans of the last war.
Seems to have done the trick. So, that's nice. That's something we've been hoping we could do for sure. So, good to see that we were able to. Oh no. I like this jumpy bit. Even if apparently I'm pretty bad at it right now. All right. R.I.P. Pivules, yeah. Man, there's been some... So you never really know how the hardcore server is going to go in terms of how many people are going to live, how many people are going to die. So I have to admit that I am surprised at seeing just how much Reaper XP people have earned. I'm just like, what? How? How? How do you do that? Meanwhile, I have to admit, it has been very humbling to run the hardcore server. Not that anyone would ever accuse me really being a top-end player ever in the history of DDO, despite playing it for top many years. But, I've been struggling to get past level 7. Not that it's been too difficult, it's just that at around level 7, I've either gotten complacent, or I've run into a damage spike kind of quest, or something of that nature that's just taken me out. And so seeing these people with, you know, tens of thousands of Reaper XP is just like, how? How do you do this, people? You know? I have to admit, it's humbling.
You hear a distant grinding of gears and scraping of stones somewhere far below.
But yes, the hardcore leaderboards no longer see dead people.
The mysterious V apparently collaborated with Doris, but suspected Doris to be some kind of double agent.
Okay, a second. I don't know. I would leave that to people more intelligent than myself, but my understanding, I guess I would be somewhat surprised, to learn that things like the Shatter Kai chain attack would naturally take on the special properties of your equipped weapon because you're not using your equipped weapon. You're using your Shatter Kai chain attack. So I guess that expectation is a little different for me, but maybe I'm wrong there. Did we ever explicitly say that it counts? Fortissimo, I think we're going down, right? So that should be over this way. Hey, Chance. But I'm getting close. I've now got a new character that is either banking 7 or just about ready to hit 7 on the hardcore server again. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I will be a wiser person this time around and will manage to hopefully not die. Again. For like the 80th time. Yeah.
You're not sure who VLT are, but they're conspiring to cover something up at that ruinous fire, according to this demand for services rendered. V ordered Doris, to be split for safety, whatever that means. It sounds like an uncomfortable experience.
Oh, to fix the chain attack and start making it viable, it needs to start doing so. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. It seems like, you know, well, it seems, gosh, really? All because... I don't know, I think it seems like almost like chain attack, since it does have its own debuffs and that sort of thing, might be better off to do differently. So that rather than tying forever to offhand weapon attacks or main hand weapon effects properties, which could potentially be crazy powerful, that instead it have its own set of buffs. You know, perhaps if the issue is that the chain attack isn't strong enough, the answer is not to permanently give it an advantage over other similar attacks of its ilk, but instead to fix it so that it's more in line with what it should be. Why, thank you, forehand. Glue your dagger to your chain and then start killing all the things. I like it. I have not... So at this point I am pretty comfortable, and fingers crossed on this, but I'm pretty comfortable feeling that I can make it on the hardcore server, running everything on Elite if need be, up to character level 7 without an issue. But at that point is when I've started to really had to learn from some pretty painful mistakes. So in terms of gearing and trying to deal with trying to have multiple gear sets for different character levels on the hardcore server, I've opted to not below level 7 for the most part. I've got a couple of key items that I've picked up over the time, like a con belt, feather fall, ghost touch. I was able to get that awesome ghost touch greatsword from Counterbones, and a few others, but for the most part I'm not worrying about the gear, because just given what you get from random gen is enough to really get you through up to level 7. So if you're going to start worrying about gear and start worrying about what you have at level, let's say, ML 5, 7, 9, 12, so.
In the blue corner, we have the fierce berserker.
I guess if you're running Reaper though, straight off the bat, then clearly I'm not the person who should be talking, because I'm not doing so well.
Hey, that's not my name. The bugbear objects.
Shut up, Phil.
Retorts the gnoll. The gnoll raises her voice.
Are the fighters ready?
I think there could be a case to be made to grant vampirism to a Shadow Kai's chain attack.
You might ask yourself, how is it possible that everyone in the cog's angry at you? It's a rhetorical question, because you just...
Where are you, Cassandra? Are you in the pit fighting? I'm trying to use mass heals, but I don't seem to be able to
Upstairs.
hit anybody. Alright, sorry about that. So, let's make sure people are together at this point. Does anyone need help? Alright.
According to the fight announcer, the Warforged fighter came to the pit with his trainer, Herg Earwold, a bugbear who lives nearby in a hovel upstairs.
Yeah, I'd imagine it has
Perhaps
to be
would
some
a
kind of
good
scaling
time to ask him
vampirism.
some questions.
It is amazing seeing the hardcore leaderboard. So not just on that, but also favor. Some of the favor has just been like, you gotta be kidding me. So I am actually at the moment, because I've been dying enough and time is starting to run a little lower, I'm personally going to focus on two things. 1750 favor, level 20. I can do both those things and not run things on Elite over Reaper. And so I'm going to start there. And let's see if I'm at least good enough to be able to do that. And if the answer to that is that I am, then I will focus whatever time is left on building up Reaper XP. But I've had to, just for my own survival, just had to be like, I can't do that. I'm just not good enough to run this stuff on Reaper and survive at this point. So I don't know how you peeps do it.
As you approach the door, you can just make out the sound of muffled conversation on the other side. Perhaps finding a better spot for eavesdropping will reveal more than simply barging in.
Oh, we all have to do it? Alright, fine. Well, could be that's not going to work because I opened the door. Hey, get out of my house! So my hours have been a little weird on hardcore, and I've largely been small group playing, which seems to really just be suiting what's working best for me. Assuming I got one here somewheres. Nope.
Oh, Cassandra, you can do it.
Yeah. Go, 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 before that poison trap kicks in. No.
Hey, close.
Nicely done.
How is pathing? I'm not sure, Techno Beaver 1. So, we have done work to alleviate the pathing issues that have been seen in recent weeks while we work on a more comprehensive fix. But the nature of the issue is that it tends to build up a little bit over time. So, while we've done work on it in today's patch and last week's patch, this is more temporary in nature than permanent, and that'll be later, as soon as we can get it out, frankly.
You see a stoic warforged matching the description of Doris, standing among the bugbear's personal effects. She's as still as a statue. A deep voice rumbles as its imposing owner reveals himself. Isn't it obvious? She speaks like one newborn. Someone stole her soul.
I have never tried to do a Jack Gibbers in hardcore, but that would be like your final minute on Earth to begin with, wouldn't it? I mean, clearly. Because what are you going to do when you die? But no, I don't think it works. Yeah. The auto-find traps ability on the Inquisitive tree. Which is better to get, spot or search to help it the most? I think neither, right? Because isn't the auto-find traps just based on a static DC as you're walking by? So I don't think whether you have search or spot that's going to improve things at all for auto-find traps. However, having an exceptionally high spot might get you closer to where you need to be to auto-spot those traps or secret doors or such. So I would say spot would be the answer to that one. Alright, well cool. Thanks everyone for being here. I think we're just going to wrap that up then for today. And continue on next week here on Wayfinder with more. So thanks very much for watching, everybody. Hope you're having a great week. And stay tuned for some announcements on social media and that regarding sales, bonuses, and what have you. Hope you're having fun, and I'll talk to you again soon, everyone.